Hello again, it's Robert back for Fat Boy Cartel podcast. Like, share, subscribe, hit the notification button, and do all of the wonderful things that help YouTube be YouTube and help Eric Hopkins and his crew stay in business. And it's good to be back again. And I realize it's been a little while since I've done a video for the podcast. I've been really busy the past couple of months, so I really haven't had a whole lot of time to dedicate to any kind of YouTube stuff. However, I needed to take time out for this because I wanted to do a little tribute to Ring of Honor. I just got through about an hour ago watching the Final Battle pay-per-view, and needless to say, it was packed with a few surprises and a great card. And I wanted to discuss and do honor to ROH due to the impact that it's had on the current industry. Ring of Honor was essentially the spearhead of the monopoly resistance. After 2001, when WWE became the only game in town, ROH was one of the alternatives that quickly developed. And going back through its roster, you can see the rise of so many of the future wrestling talents that would be part of what is keeping the industry alive today. A lot of big names there. We're talking about guys like Seth Rollins, Adam Cole, Kyle O'Reilly, Bryan Danielson, CM Punk, Samoa Joe. Just a who's who of guys who, without them, NXT would not have existed, at least not in a form that didn't suck. AEW definitely would not have existed because the Bullet Club were a very intricate part of Ring of Honor's history, along with New Japan. And the style that ROH developed in the mid-2000s was sort of the genesis, the gel of the style that has created what we have today, especially in AEW, but also in Impact and in most of the independent circuit. ROH was the birthplace of those things. And tonight, I think the ROH Final Battle pay-per-view was not only a fitting tribute to all of that, but it was a love letter to professional wrestling in general. And in order to fully appreciate that, you have to fully appreciate what ROH stands for as a symbol to professional wrestling. And watching tonight's show, I kind of got flashbacks to what I was talking about with the AWA a few months back. I did that introspective about the rise and fall of that organization and how much it hurt when it went away. And it is quite possible that Ring of Honor, after its next two TV tapings, will be officially done and will close down. Tonight's show, I'm not going to review it necessarily, just give a brief overview of it because I don't want to make this video too horribly long. But as good as the card was, there was a lot of nods to it being more of a tribute show and more of a farewell more than anything else, which leads me to believe that ROH, its day may be done. Now, I could be completely wrong about that. Again, I'm just a commentator on the independent circuit. I'm not an industry insider or expert, but I am a fan and I'm very observant. I see three possibilities here. Either one, after the next two TV tapings over, I believe, Christmas weekend, that Ring of Honor may have seen its swan song and that it will go the way of the AWA. It will be well remembered and be loved by people like me, but it will be done because essentially ROH was the answer to the McMahon monopoly. That and Impact Wrestling, otherwise known as TNA Wrestling. And those two companies in specific were the spearheads of the monopoly resistance, I guess you could say, to sort of prove that there was more out there than the WWE. Those two companies emerged. But now that we have AEW and that after 20 years the monopoly is essentially over, it may be time for ROH to have its closing moments. And that might be what we saw tonight at Final Battle. It's still up in the air, but from the way the show was treated as a tribute and love letter, it may signal the end, unfortunately, of ROH. Now, the second possibility, since there is also the new management possibility. Now, there have been rumors all over the place. We all know that that Sinclair Broadcasting has not done away with the TV deal for the promotion, which would indicate instant death. A professional wrestling promotion that's not on the independent circuit needs a TV deal in order to survive. Some kind of network distribution or some kind of streaming service to pick it up, and Sinclair Broadcasting has not done away with that. So it's quite possible that ROH could go the Billy Corrigan route, and that some very large donor may have bought the company outright and is now going to act between now and April, when the revised company is supposed to come back. They may take that time to rebuild the company into what it used to be. Because what they've announced officially is that they're going to go on hiatus, and that in April, ROH is going to return and also revert back to its independent company status, meaning that they're going to use talent on the independent circuit that's uncontracted and keep them to keep the roster revolving, which is what they did before the Sinclair purchase of the company. That's the second possibility, and I really hope that that's true, because somebody around the wealth of Billy Corrigan could take the reins of ROH and turn it into something that could rival the NWA or perhaps cooperate with it. The third possibility is that ROH may have been bought out by Tony Khan or somebody along those lines, maybe even Vince McMahon himself, who knows, and that it will be turned into a farm system. to mold up-and-comers into going higher up into the bigger companies. That's been done before with Evolve. It's been done with the USWA back in the early 90s. It became a farm system for the WWF then, and it's quite possible that ROH could live on that way. And also build a co-op that currently exists, that Forbidden Door thing, with AEW, Triple H, strike that, Triple A, New Japan, and other larger promotions to where ROH could feed into them and build on the co-op. And at the same time interact with the independent circuit, and ROH will become kind of a gateway between the two. Kind of the hinge of the Forbidden Door, such as it is. But those are the three possibilities for the future of ROH. On a personal note, in the early and late 2000s, ROH was a big thing for me. I went to a few live events, but they were kind of difficult to go to because when they came to Chicago, they were at this building called the Frontier Fieldhouse, which was in Chicago Ridge, a far south suburb of Chicago that was very difficult to get to by public transportation. But I really enjoyed what I did see of them, and the just unbelievable level and off-the-hook presentation of the matches themselves is what brought ROH to the dance. And if they're going back to that, and if they can survive that way, then I see a bright future for ROH, whoever buys it. But after the show tonight, I am not really sure whether the company is going to survive or not. I really hope it does. And if it does, then I'm on board for whatever is in the future, and if it doesn't, then salute to ROH in honor of Ring of Honor. And that's it for this edition. This is Robert signing off.
We about to turn it on.